you seen Star Wars?
Phase 1 of the High Republic is officially over. The first trilogy of books started with Light of the Jedi, followed with The Rising Storm, and now we're ending the trilogy with The Fallen Star. And in today's video, I'm going to review and give you my full thoughts on the book, The Fallen Star. Warning, this review does contain spoilers, so please be careful if you haven't read it yet. Before we begin, please leave a like on today's video and subscribe to the channel if you're new and want to see more book reviews. So I'll be honest about my feelings about the High Republic. I've been honest about my feelings about the High Republic since it started. I really love those first two novels, Light of the Jedi and The Rising Storm. I think The Rising Storm is easily one of my favorite Star Wars books of all time, behind the likes of Darth Bane's first novel in his trilogy and the Darth Plagueis books. So I held this book into a very high esteem at the moment. And this new book, Fallen Star, wraps up the entire first wave of the High Republic, as well as the story that started with the Light of the Jedi into the Rising Storm, and this is the ending of it. And as you surely can tell by the cover for this book, things are not going well. Marchion Ro, or Marchion Ro, I don't know which one we're using nowadays, but I like calling him Marchion Ro. But anyways, he is the leader and the eye of the Nihil. He caused the great hyperspace disaster in the first book, The Light of the Jedi, which caused the deaths of many Jedi and civilians, but the Jedi built a new starlight beacon which brings hope to the galaxy, since it's a headquarters in the Outer Rim to protect the people from the Nihil. Then in the book The Rising Storm, he attacked the Republic Fair, which is supposed to be a peaceful event, and yet again, he killed a lot of Jedi and even more citizens of the Republic. So you won't believe what he does in this new book. He attacks the Starlight Beacon, he kills a lot of Jedi, and he kills some civilians. Okay, this book was just frustrating to read. From the start of the book, the Jedi on the Starlight Beacon feel a major sense of dread. I mean, every single one of them just feels like something is just wrong, and they can't put their finger on it, but there's something messing with their connection to the Force. The Jedi on the Starlight Beacon are the usual suspects of the High Republic. We have my favorite of them, Elzar Mann, with the great Stellan Gios, who I love both of these characters so much. Bel-Zettifar is with his master Indira, and still mourning the loss of his great master, Loden Greatstorm, who I loved. I love both of those characters, Bel and Loden. I think his name's Buryaga or Buryaga, the Wookiee. The Wookiee. I'm sorry if I'm getting his name wrong, but him and his master are also a big part of this story as well, and they have a lot more history in like the comic books and some of the young adult novels. But this book brings back the characters from Into the Dark, which is another novel from Claudia Gray, who wrote this one, and it has Orla the Wayseeker Jedi and the crew from the vessel, like Leix and Affy and Geo the Rock. I'm really happy that all these characters returned in this novel because it feels like very natural in this universe, and to continue and see them in these major points of history, it just makes the entire narrative flow very naturally, in my opinion. So at this point, after 2 or 3 books, we don't really need much introduction to these characters, what their motivations are, who they are, what they're like, which leaves this book with one route to really go and to really focus on, and that's the plot. The plot of this book is the Nihil have snuck on the Starlight Beacon, and they are going to blow it up. And after 13 chapters of the Jedi saying, something feels off, this is weird, and I kid you not, this goes on for 13 chapters, they're just building up to something, the place finally blows up. And the rest of the book, I kid you not, literally the rest of the book, after like chapter 13 or 14, the rest of the book is just the Starlight Beacon falling. I say this book is shockingly disappointing because it's shocking how disappointing this book really is on all levels. I mean, seriously, it drags on for 10 chapters of the same thing over and over again, and it makes the Jedi seem really stupid for not being able to pick up on anything at all. It can be fun knowing what is giving our heroes trouble and watching them unravel a mystery, but in this book, they never really understand what's going on throughout the entire book, so there's no satisfying reveal at all in this book on what's actually going on. It's also very annoying that the Nihil destroyed the Starlight Beacon, because this was supposed to be a very huge moment in the story. After the Republic Fair attack, I was truly shocked that the Nihil could pull off something that big in such a horrific way. I mean, that was a very powerful and very dark moment, not only in the history of Star Wars, but just in Star Wars books, seeing what happened. And it's very similar to The Empire Strikes Back, where it seems like all hope is kind of lost. At the end of The Rising Storm, I told you guys, my jaw dropped, and I couldn't have been more excited for this next book. And this book really didn't follow up on that in an engaging way at all. I mean, the Nihil really did a major blow to the Republic, so killing off the Starlight Beacon after they already did 2 really big blows in the last 2 books, I really don't know what's going on here. I mean, killing the Starlight Beacon when we've had little to no time on the thing, and immediately after the last attack, just feels like it's not that big of a deal, like it's expected, because now 3 books in a row we've had the same kind of story beats, and nothing has changed. The best part of this book is the Nihil have brought on these things, we're going to call them creatures because, like I said, spoiler, it's kind of what they call them at the end, that when a Jedi is near them, they lose all of their connection to the Force and the outside world. Pretty terrifying to read. I mean, a lot of these scenes were kind of scary in a way, in that sense, if you're looking at it from the Jedi, what's happening to them, and it turns the Jedi into these husk outlines of themselves, and if you touch it, it turns them to dust, and that's exactly what happened at the end of the Rising Storm with Loden Greatstorm that left us all in shock and awe. This is a really interesting enemy to go against, and after Marchion Ro spending so much time in the last book trying to obtain this power, it's amazing to see it in action. But yet again, it's just like the Starlight Beacon crashing. It's supposed to be a big deal and strike really hard at the story and your emotions, but even after killing major characters in the book, it felt empty. I'm actually upset with all the character deaths in this novel, which I haven't been in the past 2 books. There have been so much death among the Jedi in the past 2 books that I was saying, like, you know, this is impactful. Like, you feel like when Loden Greatstorm died, and basically he died twice, I really felt that. But a lot of these deaths, in my opinion, really came premature, before we could really establish an emotional connection to these characters and feel sad when they die. Instead, I just felt annoyed. Orla died in this book from the Nihil thing, and it just kind of seemed out of nowhere. Stellan Gios died when the Starlight Beacon crashed, and it also felt super unnecessary for him to die. It felt like the plot said he had to, and that's the only reason it happened. And with his entire story arc, I really didn't feel like we got anything from them. I really can't give you that much information on Stellan Gios, because other than being the leader of the Jedi Council, it seems, and him kind of being the representation of what the Jedi should be, and him dealing with that, he had those struggles throughout this entire book, and he talked about it a lot in the last book on him not really wanting to have this figure. But besides that, we didn't get a lot of interactions with him and like Avar Kriss, who has pretty much been absent the past 2 books, well, actually last book and most of this book as well. And so it really felt annoying that he passed away so early in the story, and it just felt very unsatisfying. When Loden Greatstorm died at the end of the Rising Storm, I told you, my jaw was hanging from my mouth. He just escaped prison only to die moments later from this Nihil weapon we know nothing about. It was terrifying. But since you love Loden, and one of the last things you want to happen to him is die, so when he does, there's a lot of sadness behind it. But when Stellan dies, it doesn't feel sad. It just doesn't even feel eventful. It feels empty. It feels stupid. I don't know why, but Claudia Gray, she has not done a good job with her recent books. I remember my review of her last book in the High Republic called Into the Dark, which was written by her, and I said that it takes forever to get the story started, and the characters were just not that interesting. So it's sad to see in this book, she takes interesting characters, kills them off, like a lot of them off, and only after building it up for like 13 chapters for nothing. There's no payoff in this book. It felt nothing. I felt nothing when I finished this book, and I felt like the shock value stuff was put in there to make it seem good. It's like a giant cake that's just frosting but has absolutely nothing underneath the frosting. You need the batter, you need the flour, you need to bake the cake. You can't just put frosting on it and say it's a good story. Claudia may need to take a break from the High Republic novels, because honestly, I feel like this entire novel derailed anything of interest I had in the High Republic, which is sad, because at the end of this book, you're supposed to be like, ooh, the next phase, which is phase 2, is going to be a prequel. So when phase 3 happens, we're finally going to get into what happens with the Nihil, and that's a long time away, and they're probably going to be planning that out. I do not want Claudia involved. I genuinely don't, and that sounds pretty fucked up on my end. I don't. I haven't even talked about the characters in this review, because honestly, what's there to say? Bell is still, yet again, mourning the loss of his master, which is understandable, and he finally moves on at the end of this book, which is needed, but can you tell me how that's any different from what he did in the last book, where he was mourning the loss of his master? I mean, come on. Elzar has the best character arc in this book, and he is pretty much the focus of this book, in my opinion, and that's because he's dealing with the struggle of balancing the Force and his mind, and I love that. Elzar Mann is a very, very good character in the High Republic, and Claudia Gray did a very good job writing him in his struggles. Outside of that, there's nothing to talk about. It's a very slow, shock value-filled mess of a story, and I wish it was written by Cavan Scott. I give The Fallen Star a 4 out of 10. I can't remember what I gave her book, Into the Dark. I think maybe I gave it like a 5 or 10, or maybe yet again 4 or 6. But, geez, what a disappointing ending to the Phase 1 of the High Republic. The Starlight Beacon is just introduced in like the first or second book, and then they immediately kill it off in the third when you haven't made a connection to it. It's very similar to Well, I guess you can't say the Death Star because, they introduced it in the first movie and they introduced it again in the third movie, the original trilogy, that is, and they kill it off, but those aren't made by your heroes, so there isn't no emotional connection to it. But it's kind of like, for me, the Jedi Order by Luke, where, the last time you see Luke, you're like, oh, he's starting this new Jedi Order thing. The next time you see him, oh, it's completely destroyed. It's like, okay, well, I have no emotional connection to this being destroyed because, I mean, we haven't done anything with it. So they make the Starlight Beacon this big deal, and it's supposed to be a big deal when it's killed off, but you don't feel anything because you haven't done anything with the Starlight Beacon. Just an awful, awful way to conclude the Phase 1 for the High Republic. I am interested in what these creatures and things are that Marchion Ro has and that is killing the Jedi. That is a very interesting route because it's taking away their force powers, it's turning them into husk, and, there's some theories going on behind on, like, what those creatures are, and it's very powerful, it's a very cool thing. But other than that, I mean, this book just fucking sucked. But tell me your thoughts in the comment section below. Have you read The Fallen Star? And if you have, what did you think of the book? Check out my other book reviews in the description below. We have a playlist for all the book reviews. Thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like to support my channel and subscribe to stay up to date on the latest news in Star Wars. If you want to see more of my takes in a short fashion, follow me on Twitter and Instagram. And of course, follow the official Tatooine channel. We do shows and podcasts every Wednesday night. I'm Star Wars Only. I'll see you all next time, and may the Force be with you, always.